right. This morning, Sunday, May 4th, alarms went off all throughout Israel as the Houthis launched a ballistic missile towards civilian areas. In the minutes leading up to the impact, people received alerts that sirens would sound as the IDF made it clear that it had escaped their defense systems and would make impact somewhere in Israel. And the missile did indeed impact 75 meters away from Terminal 3 in an orange grove right outside Ben Gurion Airport, leaving flights grounded and planes circling above for about an hour before resuming. This marks missile number 27 or so from the Houthis, 26 of which were all intercepted. This is the first one to break through Israeli defense. Of course, there is always margin for error, which is why Israel made it very clear that this time everyone should follow the Home Front Command's instructions and take shelter just in case. Yes, this is the only Houthi missile so far to penetrate Israeli airspace, but that didn't stop them from bragging about it. Immediately after the strike, X was flooded with accounts saying that Israel is not safe anymore. Settlers should go back to Europe. The Yemeni people have no fear, and this was the most successful operation in the history of the universe. This is what happens when you give a mouse a cookie or a Houthi a tiny bit of confidence. They're so proud, it's hilarious. Newsflash, Israel hasn't exactly been paying very much attention to the Houthis until now. They've been deemed inconsequential. Now, the Jerusalem Post and other Israeli news outlets are saying that Israel is seriously considering changing their policy towards Yemen because of this strike. Hello, Sana'a International Airport. You're looking very unharmed and operational. It would be a shame if Israel would, turn it into a parking lot. Let's face it, Yemen is in shambles. According to the United Nations and the World Food Program, over 17 million people in Yemen, including 2.2 million children, are starving. A direct hit to fuel supply, electric grids, or the airport, well, that would be devastating for Yemen, which is why, until now, Israel has been letting the toddler kick and punch without much retaliation. And this dance has been going on for about a year now. Now, this is the result of the blast. Israeli sources say that 8 people were injured, mostly due to shock trauma, running from the blast, or anxiety. Nothing serious. Yes, apparently the Houthis' biggest weapon against the Israeli population is an anxiety attack. But that doesn't stop them from bragging about it. The explosive left a massive mark, a crater 25 meters wide and several meters deep. According to intelligence experts, this is indicative of a low explosive warhead and is mostly impact damage, not explosive damage. Maybe the Houthis were at least smart enough to realize that if they launch a more serious warhead, Israel's going to send them to the moon. Interesting note, the president of the Republic of Cyprus was on his way to Tel Aviv when the sirens went off. His flight to Israel landed an hour late because of the impact. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE all released statements strongly condemning the Israeli airstrikes on Syria, but Yemen's strike on Israel? Crickets. Netanyahu will hold a security meeting today to discuss a response. The Houthis better do some push-ups and get the blood flowing because it's about to get real. Defense officials are already saying that attacking Yemen is very much on the table. Hamas spokesperson Abu Obaida praised Yemen for escalating attacks on Israel, calling the Houthis Palestine's equal. Yes, you are indeed equals. Both of you love putting your own people at risk, starving them and killing them if they rebel. You truly are sisters. Also, liars. The official Yemeni Houthi account claims that they struck a vital target in Ashkelon as well. No, they didn't. You can literally ask anyone from Ashkelon, but hey, whatever makes you happy. Now, reports are coming out that Israeli planes came face-to-face with Turkish planes over Syria. While the IDF was conducting airstrikes near the palace in Damascus, Turkish F16s crossed into Syrian airspace, coming head-to-head with Israeli planes. According to reports, the Turkish planes issued electronic warnings to the Israeli planes. However, the IDF is denying that these warnings ever took place. A court in Beersheba sentenced 3 men to prison for plotting a series of terror attacks in Israel, including an attempt to assassinate National Security Minister Itamar Ben Gvir with nothing less than a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. Guess how much prison time they got? A whopping 3.5 years. Now, call me crazy, but that sounds like literally nothing for plotting a terror attack against both civilians and government officials. According to the Shin Bet, the cell planned on attacking IDF bases, Ben Gurion Airport, and government buildings in Jerusalem. The 3.5 years were a result of a plea bargain. Now, Ben Gvir is furious about it, and nobody can seem to explain why terrorists like that will be back on the street in just a few years. Another very strange occurrence, a shoulder-launched anti-tank missile was fired at an empty apartment in Kiryat Ata. Now, nobody was hurt and the apartment had been vacant for weeks. There is no update as to how these people got their hands on an anti-tank missile launcher, but apparently that didn't interest the news. The model that they used was essentially a single-use system weighing only 5 pounds and effective for around 150 to 200 meters. It is meant to be discarded immediately after. All right, well, to be honest, if not for the Houthis getting bored in Yemen, the news today would be pretty light. So go outside, make a coffee, play some ball, enjoy life. The news will be here waiting for you when you get back. Israel will survive. Don't worry. God made that promise already in the Bible, and God is not one to rewrite or take back his commitments. Unlike us, he is perfect. When the alarms went off this morning, it makes me happy knowing that every little thing brings us one step closer to fulfilling God's master plan for us all. He needs you, and he needs me, and everyone at the top of their game, both physically and spiritually. Don't slack off now. It's about to get good. For jfeed.com, I'm Simcha Brodsky. Please, please, please comment, subscribe, share if you haven't already. It's a small action from you, but you have no idea how much it actually helps us grow. This has been Overnight Israel. Catch you next time.